Everybody, welcome back to my driveway. Today I'll be working on this beautiful 2000 Honda Civic EX two-door coupe, and today I'll be changing out the timing belt. Essentially the title says timing belt, water pump, tensioner, and a little bit more stuff such as the radiator hoses, thermostat, and I believe that's about it. So to get started, I'm gonna have to move this car into the shade, but in order to do that I will have to move my little driveway queen right here, and I put up the tarp this time. Probably get some more shade and be a bit more cooler while I'm working, get away from the hot Florida sun. So just gonna go ahead and get started. Got the silver coupe underneath the canopy. I'm just showing you what I'm dealing with. It is a single jingle, little D16Y8 stock, which is original motor in this car, matching VINs and all that. So before I even get started draining coolant or doing anything else, I'm just gonna show you the parts I have. These are mainly Honda parts. The only thing that's not Honda are these AC Delco radiator hoses, which I got from Rock Auto for a pretty good price, around like $8 for each of them. As you can see, got the valve cover gasket, which I will be changing out, water pump, timing belt tensioner, and the thermostat. And lastly, the timing belt itself. And of course I got one jug of antifreeze from Honda. So just go ahead and get started on this. Alright, so one thing I forgot to bring with me was Honda Bond. Forgot to bring it with me yesterday when I was packing up for work. So car's already hot. It's already up to operating temperature. I do have to wait for the cooling system or the coolant to cool down before I even drain it. So I already just plugged these out, popped them out. Just gonna go ahead and just put them to the side. Now that the spark plug wires are out of the way, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to remove the PCV valve. Of course, try to do it with one hand. Alright, cool. So after that, I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. You guys get the gist of it. Now that I have the valve cover hardware off, all you want to do is just wiggle it back and forth and just go ahead and remove it. You can either get a pry bar if it's stuck on there, but lucky for me, it was easy to wiggle off, and I need two hands. So next I'm gonna just go ahead and tackle removing the cruise control, power steering reservoir, then go ahead and take the belts off. Then after that, try to take the timing cover off. So to remove the tension on the power steering pump belt, all you have to do is loosen this bolt and also loosen this one as well back here. Then all you have to do is just move this pump backwards, move it back, then just go ahead and take the belt off, and it should come right off. And bam, got the power steering pump belt out. And next is the AC compressor, which is fairly easy, which you have to loosen that bolt, the bolt on the pulley right there, and then you have to loosen the adjustment right here, that 10 mil. The one right here is a 12, I believe. So it is a 14, not a 12. So I got that loose. Now I just gotta loosen the tensioner right here, which is a 10 mil. And all you have to do is just don't pull it off all the way. Just gotta keep checking the tension on it before you can pull it off. And seeing that's enough, just go ahead and remove the belt off the idler pulley. Then I can do it from here off the crank, and right now it's just dangling off of the mount, which I don't mind at all. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Now I just gotta go ahead and remove the alternator belt, which is right here, which you have to loosen this top bolt right here, and also the loosen the adjuster nut right here. So now I got all those 3 bolts out of the way, and went ahead and removed the power steering pump from the bracket right here, and I pull off the power steering reservoir out of this bracket so I could get to these nuts right here. Now I have the coolant drain from the radiator. As you can see, it's down into that pan. Of course there's still going to be some coolant inside the cylinder head. Once I take the water pump off, the remaining coolant is going to be drained out. Also, I went ahead and removed the timing cover. I am going to be getting ready to set this at TDC. And how I'm going to be doing that is getting my 17mm socket right here. For D series, the crank bowl is 17mm. And so what you want to do is set the ratchet to loosen. Of course, with this ratchet you can't tell, but the motor spins counterclockwise. And so what you want to do is just spin it until you see the up marks. Hold the up mark right here where it says up. See if I get a light. Hold on. You want the up mark to be pointing up. Usually I go by from this upside right here, try to line it up with this nub. So another way to check is that, see right here, it's like a nub that forms a triangle, and so there's supposed to be like another nub underneath where it lines up to the timing, one of the marks on the crank pulley. Alright, so quick little update. I'm having troubles removing the crank bolt right here. Tried using my impact. Of course, my dumb self had to get the mid torque and not the high torque. I thought the mid torque would be enough to take anything out. Apparently not. So I can't really use a breaker bar to break it unless I have something holding the crankshaft down. So the next plan is to use a torch. With this torch, I'll be heating up the bolt itself, not the harmonic balancer. So if this doesn't do the trick, I'll just come back and let you guys know. Well, this sucks big time. I couldn't get that damn bolt loose, and all the coolant's been drained from the car, so can't really drive this car anywhere. Planning on going to Home Depot. My means of travel is taking over my longboard, of course. Got my Vans. Gonna go to Home Depot, get the high torque impact gun, and come back here. It's rated for, I think, 1,400 foot-pounds of torque or 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. So that'll definitely get this thing off. I'm just gonna come back when I have the torque with the impact gun and zap this thing off. I'm upset. Alright, with some time passing by, I finally got the crank bolt out. This little stubborn MFer was a B word, and now we could just continue off doing the timing belt. So with our marks not moved at all, we could just go ahead and loosen the timing, the tensioner. Actually, we gotta remove the dampener, Then we got to get the cover off again, or the lower cover. Then loosen the tension on the belt and try pulling it off. So finally removed the lower timing cover. Remove the bolt that's holding the crank sensor in, because that's going to be in the way. So now I just got to get the 14 mil that's holding the tensioner in, loosen the tension. But before I do that, just want to check my timing over again, see if everything's lined up. And yeah, I'll get back to you when I have the belt out. Now I have the belt off and the motor supported by the jack. Of course, I'm going to show you what I'm using. I'm using a blanket, well, like a little quilt, folded up in a whole bunch, well, folded up a lot. As you can see, you're going to get the, 4 bolts on the water pump, and finally remove the tensioner from that spring. The pump is out, tensioner is out as well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put in the new water pump and tensioner, and also go ahead and put the timing belt on. Timing belt on. How I did it, I started off with the crank, then I went around the tensioner, then onto the water pump. And to get it onto the camshaft, what I had to do was pull some of the belt onto the edge of the pulleys, just so I could fit it onto here. So now I'm just gonna fully push it on there and go ahead and start tightening the tensioner. Get back to you. I got the crank pulley on. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my 17 mil on IN. I mean, on my little torque spec sheet, it says to be move it by 3 teeth. I am going to be using this pointer right here as my guideline of how many tooth I'm going to be moving. I am setting the tension, so I'm just going to go ahead and give it a try one-handed. That's tooth number 2. That's going to be number 3. Check tension. It's pretty tight right here, and you got the slack right here. It's looking pretty good, so I like how it feels on the belt. Seems pretty good. Now that the timing tensioner is tightened, what you want to do is just give it a few, spin the motor a few times, make sure there's no binding. I want to spin it until you put it back to the TDC marks. It's gonna take a while. I'm just gonna go ahead and put everything back. It's just like taking it out, but backwards, I guess. Alright, so that's going to sum it up for the whole entire timing belt, water pump, and tensioner change. You can also use this video to replace the dry belts if you like, except for the part I showed you how much tension you need. So it's probably not a good video. So yeah, I noticed I was going to do the valve cover gasket, but I'm running out of time and date. Well, it's still bright outside, but I am running out of time because the dealership is going to close pretty soon. So I do have to return the shop foreman's impact gun to him. And yeah, probably tomorrow I'm gonna get started with the valve cover gasket, probably record get some footage from that. And yeah, thanks for watching this video, and you're at Maddie's driveway. All right, see ya.